sometimes the best leadership happens when you step away for 10 minutes.
This is Back in 10. Hey everyone, welcome to Back in 10. I'm Savannah.
And I'm Jen.
We're here to talk about dental leadership, dental management, and everything in between. And today I want to really talk about the how of this relationship between me and Jen, and how we met, where it started, like what is the foundation of this podcast, just to help everyone understand the kookiness that you are signing up for. I mean, right, we're like based on integrity and honesty, right, Jen?
Yeah.
So like if
absolutely.
I was like, we are a prim and proper podcast, people, that would be a blatant lie. Be like, get them out, you know?
No, we're here to go with it, and we are just open, honest, and sometimes it's messy, and sometimes we might show up in a hoodie and not have lipstick on.
It's true.
Well, we're gonna go with it. So
okay, girls, here comes the producer in. I have a question.
Okay.
About I'm throwing you a curveball.
Like Oz right now. Okay. Yes,
All
wizard.
Right? So, Jen.
Yes.
I want you to, in a minute or less, talk about the first time you met Savannah. And then, Savannah, when Jen's done, I want you to do the same thing.
Oh boy, she has more time to prep. Come on.
I'll
okay.
go first.
You want to go first?
You want me to go first?
No, I'll go first. He gave it to me first. It's totally fine.
Okay. I mean, I'm ready.
Okay, totally fine. I'm ready. So Savannah and I met at a dental manager study club in Boston that I started when I had a 2-month-old at home, because that's how crazy I am. And we met there at a local, dental supply branch. And there was a big group of us. And I remember meeting Savannah for the first time and getting to know her and finding out that she lived really close to me and her offices were right down the street, literally down, right down the road from each other, like right off the street. And yeah, we had a great time at that meeting. And I just remember being in awe of Savannah, and she just had such a big presence there. When everyone walked in, they looked, and I'm like, yep, she's going somewhere. She's going somewhere. She is. And now that somewhere is here, right next to me in this video. Although she is home and I am home, but we are always emotionally together. I'll say that since then. And that was, when was that? What year was that?
That was, I think it was like 2016.
Yeah, because I started at the study club beginning of 2016. Yeah.
That's when you started the study club?
Yeah.
Okay, then I met, if you started in 2016, then I met you in 2017, but I officially saw you. We didn't meet, but I saw you at a dental event that we were both at, and you were at a regional table, and I was like, oh, who is this girl? Everyone is talking to her. Everyone is like looking up to her. Do I need to look up to this woman? Like, I think I do. And then I found out that you lived in Boston. Well, you lived north of Boston, and you were down the street from me. And I hadn't yet been to one of your study club meetings.
That Yankee?
No, we were at the other conference.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. Where?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Thank you, wizard. I didn't even know this story. Okay.
Yeah. So then I went to my first study club meeting locally of the study club you were president of.
Yeah.
And I remember when I walked in, you were in a pink blazer, and you were. No, I totally freaking lied to you. I'm lying to you. It was yellow. It was at Cafe Escadrille. Yeah. And you asked me, because you found out I was a photographer. And
Oh
you
my
asked me to run a
gosh, that's
camera.
right.
And it was at our very good friend Teresa Duncan's event.
Yes. That was such a good event. Oh my gosh. I was so proud of myself for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I was there taking photos, and then I ended up taking headshots of you and Teresa. And then as I was taking headshots, I was like, God, I need to be this woman.
Oh my gosh. So funny story with that. Savanah did my headshots when I got Practice Administrator of the Year during COVID. So that was amazing to be able to have her do that. Oh my gosh, I will never forget it. I just felt like so loved in that moment. I was like, man. And if you see that picture, you just look and you're like, oh, she's like really happy right now. I'm like, yeah, I was.
That was such a big accomplishment, and you looked beautiful and you were glowing, and like it was the first time you could be around someone without a mask, so like
you could actually see my face. It wasn't, it was great.
I wish I could have my mask off, but COVID rules.
Yeah, it was good though. Yeah. Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, thank you, Wizard. What a nice nickname now.
You're welcome. I have one more question because we want to keep it to 10 minutes, right? And Savanah, this one, we're going to start with you. So you guys have known each other for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
In that 10 years, what would you say is the one thing, like the overarching thing that you have learned from Jen that you have applied in your professional life?
Grace. Look.
Are you nervous, Savanah? I mean, is that like a fidget toy?
No, so it actually, this holds the cord on the microphone that you made fun of me for, first of all.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm just like playing with it, like as like, cause like, it keeps it keeps me from flailing about and ruining the shot, Chris.
Well, I appreciate that, Savanah. All right, Savanah, 10 years. So Grace, how have you learned that from Jen?
It costs you nothing to offer grace. And when you're in a leadership position, oftentimes you have to step back and you have to take a breath, and you can't be reactive, and you just have to come from an attitude and a perspective of grace. You were given this opportunity to be in this position to lead a group of people who otherwise would not be leaders, and maybe they don't know how to, and coming to them with patience and perspective in the form of grace is something that I've always seen in Jen. Whenever she has an interaction with, and I've been to her practice when she was at practice, and have seen her interact with her team and with her doctor, and like I almost worked for their practice at one point. So I've seen her I've seen her in that position and offer that grace, and I've seen her actively make that decision to be in that state where it could have something different could have been said, or an eye roll could have been had, but I never saw it.
That's great.
My eyebrows don't tell a lie, though. It's pretty.
No, that girl, you can read everything on her face. So when she gives grace, she is giving you grace.
All right, Jen, your turn. Same question, but with regards to Savanah, what is the one big thing that you've learned from her that you've been able to apply in your career?
To always be honest to yourself. Always. It's really difficult sometimes to do that. My gosh, what is this? Episode 2. I already cried in episode 1. Here we go again. Well,
don't make the cry woman.
But to always be honest with yourself. And like sometimes like when you see things or you hear things and you get those, the little red flags or anything like that, it's always being honest with yourself and saying, okay, I got this, or no, there's something that we need to work on a little bit here. And just being able to also like be honest with her friends, aka me, and just being able to just complete honesty is what I absolutely love. There is nothing fake. What you see is what you get, and that's how we both are. And it's really, I think it's very refreshing.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, being completely honest to
I
yourself.
think we find a lot. I think honesty and integrity is one of our biggest drivers as dental leaders. And a lot of the leaders that I've looked up to, I don't know about you, Jen, but they have that honesty and integrity. Because why would you want to follow someone or be influenced by someone who is not themselves, who
Mhm.
can't act with that honesty and integrity? I really appreciate that you said that.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Absolutely. And I have, worked with in the past and come across many people that just aren't honest with themselves. They're not honest with other people, but even like honest in your abilities, right? Like you'll be the first person to say like, "Oh, no, I can totally do that," or no, that's not me, but I know someone that can, right? Like you're really good about like being honest with everyone and being honest in what you can do and what you can't do. Like, and that's one thing we're going to talk about. It is okay to say no. And I
Yeah,
have had a really hard time at doing that in my life. And I am working, I've worked really hard on it over the years. And I'll say, yes, and not right now. Or it can't happen right now.
right.
But yeah, complete honesty. Mm-hmm.
And when you acknowledge that there's something that's not in your wheelhouse and something that you can't do, that is just so much room for growth
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
make you a better leader. And showing that to your team and your doctors and your executive leadership, I mean,
Mhm.
it,
Uh,
it shows people that it's okay not to be perfect. And
Oh
we
yeah.
ain't perfect in this industry, people. Ain't no
No,
ways Savannah Sunshine's perfect.
no. And I remember vividly there were times that with my team that I worked with previously, I would call up like the people that I work directly with all the time, like the regional man, and we'll go into that a little bit too. But regional managers, practice managers, and I'm like, okay, guys, I can't do this. I physically cannot do this on my own. I need help. I am drowning. Like it's okay to say, I need some help. Like put the white flag up, right? And say like, I need some help. And I don't know how to do this. I can't do this. But I know that if we put our minds together, then we can. Right?
And
It's okay.
how did you find your team react to it? Like, so I know
Oh,
that in your tenure, I mean, you had offices that were very seasoned and grew up with you in that leadership position. And then, with a multi-location small DSO, like you acquire practices and then you're stepping into
mhm,
territory where like it could be a
mhm,
battle zone because they don't know
mhm.
you and they're
Yeah.
afraid of new leadership. How
Yep.
did that new practice
Mhm,
respond to that honesty about
mhm.
needing
I think from what I have been told is that they found it refreshing because they had never had anyone in a leadership position say that they couldn't do something and that was honest about it. Like if we ever had a deadline or they needed something, I always made sure that I delivered. Always. If the team needed something, if they needed support, it was done. But I think having that baseline understanding of who everyone is as people comes
help?
first, right? If I had just walked in there and said, I have no idea what I'm doing, I can't do this, they'd be like, who is this person and why is she even in this position? Right?
Yeah.
Honestly, because that's what I would do, right?
Yeah.
But going in there and rolling up my sleeves and helping them and, cleaning out an office or going through old charts or calling, junk collectors to come and take stuff out of an office because they never had time to do the things that they wanted to do roll up the sleeves. There's a flood in an office. The first person down there that's walking in there and ruining her shoes and her pants because it has to be done, right? It has to. So physically being there and being able to roll up your sleeves next to them and let them get to know you for you, and then everything else after that, it just, transparency is key. Out of anything in leadership, transparency is the biggest thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And when you're transparent, I mean, honesty just comes with it. I mean, it's a trickle, it's a domino.
Yeah. And look, as leaders, there are some things that we cannot be 100% transparent about. We know that, right?
Oh, that's something that we will talk about in a future episode.
We're going to have a whole series on that. But, oh yeah. But there are some things that you just can't share with the team at that moment. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you never will, but you can't right now. And you really need to understand the difference between the two, because there's a point where it's oversharing.
Right.
And then when you overshare, sometimes you never get the team back.
Right. And it's not about white lying. White lying is still a lie.
Right. Absolutely. You can't omit either. No, you can say, there is some more to it. I can't share right now. Right. Or there are some things in the works, but I can't share right now. When I can, I will. And then you go from there, right? There's a lot that goes into it.
And that's something that is not well received, I think, in dental management and leadership training. Because it's scary, right? People don't want to be seen as a bad guy, but saying something like that doesn't make you bad. And like, how do we transition that mindset in dental leadership? How do we do that?
Oh, we're going to have some tips, my friend.
Some tips and tricks. All from private practice, singular private practices, all the way up to, your multi-location DSOs. We're going to run the gambit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's our cue for right now. For this. Yeah, for this, you're going to clock out. Okay, perfect. So we're clocking out. And from your Back in 10 hosts, we'll see you soon. BRB.
Bye, everyone. You did the thing!
So did you!
No, only because you did it.
Wow. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us on Back in 10.
If something made you laugh, nod, or feel a little more human, share it with a friend and make sure that you're subscribed.
You can also follow us on Instagram at Back in 10 Pod for more behind the scenes, updates, and probably a little chaos.
We're not here to have it all figured out. We're just here to tell you the things that we wish someone had told us.
And remind you that leadership doesn't have to be perfect, just real.
We'll be back in 10.
Here we go. 3. I got to break those fingers.
I don't understand. You're hanging out with Addie too much.
You could do like the hang loose, right? Like the thumb and the pinky. What's up, dude?
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, girls. Here we go.
Okay,
that's perfect.
Are you sorry?
Sorry, Chris.
That's okay. 3, 2, 1.